Tonight on Bulldog Insider, he's going back to Cali. Paul George is headed to LA, and no, it's not with the Lakers. We'll discuss. The man, the myth, the legend, Christopher Gabriel from 940 ESPN stops by the set and makes his insider debut. We'll chat with him about PG-13 and, of course, talk about Fresno State football, which is right around the corner. The Bulldogs have been on the recruiting trail looking for those dog-wire dudes, and they don't have to go too far to find them. Edison's head football coach and former Bulldog, Atnoff Harris, has taken notice. Hey everyone, welcome to the Bulldog Insider, filling in for Andrew Martin, who's on a much-needed vacation. I want to begin by giving a huge shout-out to the U.S. women's soccer team that won back-to-back World Cup titles, fourth altogether. They beat Netherlands 2-0 this morning. Getting back to the show, on Friday night, there was a report that sent shockwaves through the NBA, and it featured a former Bulldog. Get this, Oklahoma City is trading Paul George to the Clippers. I don't think anybody saw this coming. Last season, George was an MVP candidate and was second in the league in scoring, behind James Harden, averaging 28 per game. PG-13 only spent 2 seasons in OKC, and now he's on to the next chapter. And in to discuss this crazy news is Christopher Gabriel. You can hear him on 940 ESPN Monday through Friday. I'm used to being a guest on your show, going to Fulton Street, but thanks for coming in.
I'm delighted that you invited me. It's fun to be in your house with all your people. This is a great studio, and let's get going.
A little bit different, though, with cameras, right?
Little cameras. It's more comfortable seats. Sorry, 940, but this is great. Yeah.
All right. So we got to begin with this. The crazy news about Paul George, 29-year-old, going to the Clippers. Did you ever see this happening?
No. You know, 2 or 3 months ago, Julia, to be honest with you, I really bought into the narrative that, okay, he's probably going to go to the Clippers if he goes anywhere else. And then I thought, well, you know what, maybe if Toronto wins, he'll stay there. Never, though. Once the Lakers came into play, didn't think he was going to go there. Didn't see it at all. And, I mean, I'm as stunned as anybody else.
It was incredible. And then we got to talk about Kawhi Leonard, him teaming up there. And did you ever picture those two coming back together? I know they played against each other in college, but for them to team up and, you know, be in L.A. together.
Yeah, and you know what's interesting about that, I didn't see that. I don't think anybody saw that coming, but the two of them, they have a similar vibe, don't they? I mean, we don't really know them, what they're like off camera, so to speak, or, you know, behind closed doors, but the vibe that we get, the pages of their books that we see, they both are really salt-of-the-earth guys. They're down to earth. They're hard workers. They don't really care about getting a headline. They just want to do the job and get the win. And in that respect, I think both of them complement each other extremely well. I think the Clippers, I mean, they're obviously the huge winners here, and what a player they're going to be this coming fall.
What do you think was the bigger surprise? Was it Kawhi or PG-13?
Wow, that's. I think it's PG-13. For me, it is PG-13 because I thought once he re-signed out in Oklahoma City with Russell Westbrook, and you know they had the thing at the Russell Westbrook party and the announcement, and he just seemed so happy there, and it seemed like the kind of environment that maybe he was going to be really comfortable in. Did not see him leaving there. I don't know what kind of a negotiator that Kawhi Leonard is, but he clearly got him on board and said, "Come on home, join me, let's go do some damage in Staples Center."
And I just love how two former WAC players are coming together.
Right?
Like that picture that Fresno State basketball tweeted out was amazing. I'm going to show that later on in the show, but that was amazing. Did you see that?
I did see that. It was the game was at Fresno State, was it not? And it was just seeing them go at each other, and now to see such a prominent Fresno State name, you know, just like having Derek Carr up the road in Oakland, well, for another year, but he'd be able to see Paul George down in Staples Center. I mean, that's just going to be a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun to see somebody who was so prominent at Fresno State now only a couple hundred miles away.
Exactly. All right, so we got to talk about it. 2 LA teams that are just going to be dominant. Hopefully, like when people are going to the Staples Center, they're going to see the Clippers, Lakers go at it like we haven't seen before in a long, long time. So who do you think has a better chance of actually going to the NBA Finals, Clippers or Lakers?
I'm going to go with Clippers. And the reason is, maybe it's a simplistic reason, Julia, but the fact is when the Warriors were healthy, this Clippers team took them to 6 games. They managed to come back from a 31-point deficit and win in Oracle Arena. Not an easy place to win, not an easy thing to do against the Warriors. I like what they have defensively. I don't know that there's going to be a better defensive pairing than Kawhi Leonard and Paul George. It reminds me a little bit, I'm not saying they're Michael and Scotty, but those two were so amazing defensively. These two are going to be the same, and you add Patrick Beverly, Lou Williams, this is going to be a very difficult team. I'm going to go with them right now and say I think they will have a better chance of getting to the NBA Finals than the Lakers.
It'll be interesting. I'm going to take the Lakers on that, though. So just for fun, just because I'm a Lakers fan, too. And also LeBron James. Yeah. Yes. And LeBron James, you can't go against him. And Anthony Davis. Like, those two combined. And then Boogie Cousins. And then you have Danny Green all coming together. So that'll be
and this is no knock to the Lakers because they are a great team. They have a lot of talent. But I feel like this is going to be something. Kawhi just knows how to win. He wins in San Antonio. He wins in Toronto. He brings a vibe with him that is much as strong off the court as it is on the court. And I think that's what he's going to bring to this organization that has been so close so many times.
Just that quiet leadership that he has.
Right.
I love that. All right.
It's kind of like you here, right?
Yeah, exactly. I'm more on the quiet side for sure. All right, so we are not done yet with Chris. We're going to talk about Fresno State football, the pros, the cons, the question marks. That's coming up next on Bulldog Insider.
Those iconic lights and that old checkerboard. Inside Bulldog Stadium, we are one. This is our valley. And this year, we're doing it for you.
Monday, will one ninja's dream be cut short? Oh, no! She's cut badly. The blood could blur her vision. Does she have anything left? American Ninja Warrior, Monday.
Source of humor. Call. Jane has 3 pet cats. Effect. Kid Rose. She will die alone.
Bring the Funny premieres Tuesday on NBC.
Introducing Jurassic World, the ride. Try to survive the new adventure.
Did you know that 73 cents of every dollar you spend here stays here locally? YourCentralValley.com is proud to support local businesses and keep your hard-earned dollars here in the Valley. If you see the Central Valley local logo on a commercial, it means something. It means we're helping keep
All right, many of the sports books in Vegas have released their betting lines for the first full week of the college football season, and the consensus line has USC as a 13.5-point favorite over the Dogs. The opening line was around SC -10 at most of the books, but has slowly been drifting upwards since. And with that, I say, where's the respect? Now, Chris, you're a USC alum.
Yes.
We got to get that out of the way.
Yep.
And you're also the host of Game Day Live, so you know Fresno State football very well. What are your thoughts on that? Is it just majorly disrespectful to Fresno State?
It's nonsense. It's absolute garbage. This is name recognition going into SC getting a 13.5-point favorite, being a favorite. Let's look at last year for a second, okay? Last year, 2 common opponents. I don't like to play that game necessarily, but Arizona State, they came into the Coliseum, and yeah, they had N'Keal Harry, but they won that game. Maybe a better common opponent, UNLV. UNLV, that was a 5-point game in the Coliseum going into the 4th quarter. USC scored some cosmetic touchdowns. This is a team, Julia, that was 5-7 last year, 3-3 at home. They averaged 26 on offense. They gave up 27. This is a team with tons of 4- and 5-star players. Fresno State finished 21st, I believe it was, in the college football rankings at the end of the year. You won't see USC anywhere. I think that there's a lot of trepidation from odds makers and what have you about Marcus McMaryion leaving, Jeff Allison leaving. But I think they're underestimating the kind of talent this Bulldog team has coming back this year.
And that was my next question. Fresno State is losing a lot on the defensive side. Like you said, Jeff Allison, George Helmuth, Tank Kelly, Mike Bell, all these guys are leaving. So should fans be worried about that?
Well, I don't think so. I think you look at the defense of this team last year. I mean, look at the rushing defense. They gave up 8 rushing touchdowns last year. That was #1 in the Mountain West and #2 in the nation. I think they have talent and depth, especially at defensive tackle. This is a team that Burt Watts, Jeff Tedford, they shuffled a lot of guys in and out last year because they had so many big leads. I think the talent and depth that they have on the defensive side, I think the defense is going to be much, much stronger than a lot of people are giving them credit for. I think the trick this year is going to be how are they going to do on offense?
And that's the next question. How do you know this stuff? You just lead right into it. All right, so yeah, the next big question mark is at quarterback. Marcus McMarion's leaving, and now Jorge Reyna is going to try to take the reins. What are your thoughts on that, and do you think he can handle it?
I do. And full disclosure, Jorge was, as you know, he was an intern for us at 940 ESPN, and we had a chance to see him off the field. His work ethic, the way he approached assignments that we gave him, his methodology, his diligence, and the fact that he did everything so incredibly solid. You saw him in a newsroom much like you saw him on the field. He can make every throw. We all know that. He can make the short throw, the middle throw, the deep throw. He's got great legs. He doesn't have breakaway speed. Sorry, Jorge. He doesn't have breakaway speed, but he's got enough speed to get away from guys. I think the concern with Jorge, though, Julia, is he likes to initiate contact. He likes to take a guy out. And I don't think this team can afford that, because if he goes down, the season may go down. He's going to have to get out of bounds a yard or two early instead of taking on a guy and delivering a hit.
And I think Tedford's there to let him know, like, hey, just go down when you need to.
Absolutely.
So, yeah, he'll let him know. And then was Jorge, scale of 1 to 10, how good of an intern?
Oh, he was a 10. He was a 10 because he worked so hard, and he was always on time. Everything that he gave us, he would go the extra mile. He would give us the assignment, and he would give us more. He's the guy that you want in your newsroom.
All right, and just a couple seconds here. What are you most looking forward to this upcoming season?
I'm looking forward to seeing how this team performs in the Coliseum against USC, and then getting back at the Minnesota Golden Gophers coming here. That's a physical team. I think this team can win both. We'll see what happens.
All right, Chris, thank you so much for coming by. Hopefully it's not the last time you're here.
Anytime you want me, I'm happy to join you. Anytime.
All right, thank you so much. And we're going to come back on Bulldog Insider. More local high school talent seems to be staying in the Valley. We're going to check in with the head coach who has taken notice. He joins us with Scott Bemis up next.
The Bone Store helps me sleep better than ever.
The Bone Store helps us get up and go.
And maintain our freedom.
With locations throughout the Valley, we're dedicated to helping you live a comfortable, independent life. Find the Bone Store near you and improve the way you walk, move, sit, and sleep.
During the 4th of July event at More Furniture for Less, save store-wide.
Get this triple reclining, ultra comfortable sofa for just $7.99.
Get this modern rustic dining table, 4 chairs and a bench for only $14.99.
Get this rustic 4-piece contemporary bedroom in acacia wood for only $14.99.
Or choose this classic Sheen sectional with oversized deep seating for just $14.99.
Now, during the 4th of July event at More Furniture for Less.
At All Faiths Funeral Home, you'll find the care and compassion needed with the loss of a loved one. We're available day or night to guide you with dignity and respect. We provide an unforgettable and lasting tribute in a beautiful chapel setting for an intimate memorial.
Let's wait till this block's over because the full screen will probably take longer to read anyways. Cool. Thank you.
California, it's back, it's bigger, and it's better. The 4th of July Sellathon is back at your California Ford dealers. It's bigger, huge savings only during the Sellathon, and it's better. Get an extra $2,000 when you trade on our best-selling SUVs. Plus, get F-150 with no interest for 6 years, or Escape for just $219 per month during the Ford 4th of July Sellathon. It's back, it's bigger, and it's better. So get a Ford today. Hurry to your California Ford dealers. It all ends July 8th.
Monday, will one ninja's dream be cut short?
Oh no! She's cut badly. The blood could blur her vision. Does she have anything left?
American Ninja Warrior, Monday on NBC.
3 hilarious superstars are looking for the next big name in comedy.
I learned teaching the children were a constant source of humor.
All right, welcome back to the show. From the moment he was hired, Jeff Tedford said he was going to put an emphasis on recruiting the Central Valley, and he's lived up to that promise, especially with the incoming group of newcomers who will be on the Fresno State football roster this season. It's a list filled with guys from the Valley. Some like Cropper, Kelly, and Jordan are scholarship guys who were part of the Bulldogs' most recent signing class, but there are only so many scholarships to go around, so the other guys on this list are coming in as walk-ons. And this list of newcomers with Valley ties gets even bigger when you include the gray shirts and transfers. Receiver Rodney Wright and cornerback Deshaun Ruffin, both gray shirted last season, which means they didn't enroll at Fresno State until the spring semester, which means they'll be true freshmen this upcoming season. And two others originally from the Central Valley, Hollins and Brown, are transferring in from Power 5 programs, and they'll be eligible in 2020. With more on this, it's time to throw it over to Scott Bemis for our Coach's Corner, brought to you by Bud Light.
All right, thanks a lot, Julia. Yeah, you know, we're talking about recruiting and what the Fresno State Bulldogs are doing as far as recruiting a lot of local kids. And you know what? I have the perfect guest here to talk about that. Atnoff Harris, former Bulldog receiver and the current head coach at Edison High. Atnoff, thanks for coming by.
Thank you.
Hey, when you look at that list of local names that are joining the Bulldogs, that list of newcomers this year, what goes through your mind when you see that the Bulldogs are recruiting those kids?
Man, it's really exciting to see a lot of talent staying home. When I played at Fresno State, we had a lot of guys stay home, and you know, there's a lot of guys who go out of state and you know, go to bigger colleges, and then when they get there, they realize it's not all what it's cracked up to be, that we have good football here in town, and we have a great coaching staff here at Fresno State.
Now, you're about to enter your second year as the head coach at Edison. You coached at Roosevelt for 2 years before that. You've been an assistant basically over the past decade at a bunch of the big schools in Fresno and Clovis. So you've been coaching at the high school ranks, you know, for 3 different Fresno State coaching staffs that have come through there. What are your impressions of this staff? Are they very visible out there in the Valley?
This staff is very visible. Coach Kristen, you got J.D. Williams, and you got Coach Teffer, who've been around forever, and guys like me identify with those coaches, and we have relationships with those coaches, so that make a difference. And also, those guys have relationship with people within the community. And I think players like myself, we gravitate towards those coaches, and those coaches do a great job of developing relationships, not only with the players, but people within the community.
And we're starting to see some Edison Tigers, you know, commit to become Bulldogs. Now, not on that list of newcomers who will be competing this fall is your running back from last year, McKinley Lee III. It's a little guy, kind of in the mold of a Robbie Rouse. I understand he's going to gray shirt this year. Can you update us on McKinley, what his plans are and why he's gray shirt?
Well, McKinley, he just had surgery 2 weeks ago, and he had a broken bone in his 5th metatarsal. So he had surgery to get that repaired. He got a bunionectomy, and they put a screw in it. So he's going to be servicing that foot over the next year, and that ultimately decided to him gray shirt.
Okay, so by gray shirting, he won't actually enroll in school until the spring semester, correct, at Fresno State.
Correct.
Still have 4 years of eligibility, so when he's healthy, he'll be ready to contribute, right?
Right.
Of course. All right, you're a Fresno State Bulldog as well, in addition to being a local high school coach, right? So it's had to be exciting the last couple of years to see this resurgence with the Bulldogs. What have been your impressions of what they've done?
They've done a great job. I mean, Coach Tefford, as we know, is lights out. He have a lot of resources. He have a great knowledge of the game, and like I said before, just they do a great job of pulling the community in and welcoming everyone to the football program, to the staff, and you know, a lot of those things go unnoticed. And if you look at the body of work they've done over the last 2 years, it shows.
And now you played at Fresno State from '98 to 2000, a part of a couple bowl teams under Pat Hill, correct?
Correct.
And so, what do you think this program is capable of? Could they get to the point where maybe they're the new Boise State, in your opinion, under Jeff Tedford?
I don't know. That's a good question. You know, in the last 2 years, they've really set the bar high. And can they duplicate, you know, last year and the year before? I'm not so sure at this point. With the bar being set high, and you know, they lost a lot of key players last year. So I think it's a matter of coaching staff getting together and putting the pieces back together.
All right, that's Atnoff Harris, former Bulldog receiver, and you can see him this upcoming fall roaming the sidelines at Edison High School as the head coach. Back to you, Julia.
Thank you so much, Scott. Great stuff. Up next on the Bulldog Insider, Aaron Judge hit it out of the park twice in one game. We'll take you to St. Petersburg for that.
Valley, with projects that deliver safe and sustainable water to our communities, building foundation.
Still? What was it before we got in there? 29. Oh, yeah, let's add a little bit if we can. Thank you. Okay, sweet, thanks.
At Precision Civil Engineering, we are building a better Central Valley.
Well, here's our new home until the mortgage company you chose gets our loan closed.
We should have called Country Club Mortgage.
With offices in the Central Valley, your loan will be done quicker and done right. Apply online or call today. Country Club Mortgage.
We love the Valley. It's where we work, play, and live.
We're Sean and Chelsea Soares, the Soares team at Iron Key Real Estate.
Our network of statewide listings, social media, television, and community involvement offers you the best opportunities.
If you're in the market to buy or sell, we're your team for maximum knowledge and exposure. Contact us today for your free home valuation and experience our commitment to excellence.
We're Sean and Chelsea, the Soares team at Iron Key Real Estate.
Kids with no beds, sleeping on the floor. KC24 took action. During the Next Hour Founders Day of Caring, our news team volunteered with Sleep and Heavenly Feast to build and deliver children's beds for Valley families in need. At KC24, family matters.
Sierra Pacific Orthopedic defines the strength of experience.
Strength of experience for me here means that you have collaborative effort to get everybody together to better take care of the patient and to make it so that it is a good experience for them. We're all a part of a team. I'm lucky enough to be in a practice where if I have a more complicated case, I can say, hey, you want to do this case with me? We'll do it together. You get two surgeons in there working on a patient for the better of the patient.
The region's most preferred orthopedic doctor since 2010.
More experienced partners here who can offer that help.
The American Meteorological Society has certified A.J. Fox and Lauren Wallace. WeatherRate has certified them most accurate. 6 years straight. Your local weather authority is certified most accurate. Certified meteorologist. Certified most accurate. Only on KC24 News.
Radiance Insurance has been keeping Valley folks protected for decades. Whether you need insurance for your home, business, or vehicle, Radiance will find you quality coverage for the best price. Like liability insurance for just $90 down and $14 a month. The experts at Radiance will work with you to match your needs to the best insurance deal. And estimates are free.
With your accurate information, the price you were quoted is the price you were.
The 2-0 pitch is
Former Diamond Dog Chris Mariscal has been seeing the ball well lately. Last week he hit a walk-off grand slam, and this week he goes yard again for the go-ahead 3-run shot, his second home run in 6 games. Mariscal started the season in AA and moved to AAA Tacoma, where he's batting .250. All right, time now for our play of the week, and it goes to the big man, Aaron Judge. The day after 4th of July, the former Bulldog had quite a game in the first inning against Tampa Bay. He hit a solo blast to get the Yankees on the board, but it would go into extras, tied at 4, until he hit another home run in the 11th to put New York on top for good. They ended up winning that game 8-4. And our tweet of the week goes to the Fresno State men's basketball team for this gem that was taken back in 2009. They say a picture is worth 1,000 words, so there's no caption needed. It's, of course, Paul George during his Fresno State playing days going one-on-one against Kawhi Leonard when he was at San Diego State. From conference foes to teammates in L.A. 10 years later, pretty funny where life takes you sometimes. We'll be right back. Yeah, we should be good because I'm just going to say a quick goodbye anyways, so you can just count me down. We'll just get that VO, as long as we get the VO in, and then maybe just like the website, I'll just toss. Cool, thank you.
We're doing it for you.
Look
Look at this Western Bacon Cheeseburger from Carl's Jr. Tangy barbecue sauce, charbroiled beef with crispy bacon and onion rings. It's time to give your taste buds a giddy up. The Western Bacon Cheeseburger, only at Carl's Jr.
At All Faiths Funeral Home, you'll find the care and compassion needed with the loss of a loved one. We're available day or night to guide you with dignity and respect. We provide an unforgettable and lasting tribute in a beautiful chapel setting for an intimate memorial or up to 400 guests. All Faiths offers packages for every budget and discounts for military members and first responders. Whatever your circumstance, we're here to provide peace of mind. All Faiths Funeral Home, minutes away in Fowler.
There's a lot in this valley that matters. Your town pride matters. And getting in touch with nature matters. Hard work matters. And playtime matters. School spirit matters. And family values matter. Because you are what matters most to this valley. And what matters most to you matters to us. KC24, local news that matters.
Look at this Western Bacon Cheeseburger from Carl's Jr. Tangy barbecue sauce, charbroiled beef with crispy bacon and onion rings. It's time to give your taste buds a giddy up. The Western Bacon Cheeseburger, only at Carl's Jr.
I have been suffering for 20 years from an on-the-job accident. I came into Innovative Medical Center. I had incredible results, absolutely pain-free after the first day.
Stem cells are changing lives. Call us today to see if we can change yours.
Niñas, vengan a ver esto. Niñas, when you have the fastest internet coverage and control throughout your home.
Why did you pause the Wi-Fi? What's that?
Vestidos de la abuela. With Xfinity X5, sharing in traditions. Simple, easy, awesome. Check out Gig Speed Internet or any of our other amazing speed options. Get started with Xfinity Internet for as low as $29.